to our channel. We are NV Board Gaming, and today we're going to take a look at Castles of Burgundy. This is a game by Stefan Feld, published by Aliyah and Ravensburger, and this is a 2 to 4 player game. Nick is going to show us how to play, and then we'll give you our review.
Hey, we're back and set up for a 2-player game of Castles of Burgundy. Here is the main board and our little estates here. In Castles of Burgundy, we're trying to build the best estate, earn the most victory points in the process. It is a point salad type game. In Castles of Burgundy, the first thing, well, everything is going to be revolving around these dice. The first player is given the white die, and their 2 color, and the second player here is given their color without the white die. So both players will simultaneously roll their dice, and this die tells this spot where it's going to go. This is going to go to the 1 spot because I rolled a 1 on my white die. So that good is going to go there. This kind of keeps track of the rounds as well. So you can tell we're in phase 1 because these are missing and they all 5 come out here. So after every round, one of these is going to go away. And then we know when we go to the next phase. So what am I doing with my actual die? So I rolled 2 2s. What can I do with a 2? I can come out here and see what is assigned here at this 2 station. We can buy this science token. I could buy this castle. When I buy something, it goes to one of these 3 spots here, like a reserve for my estate. So I could take, for example, let's see which one would work. Let's say I got this, which is an ability that workers are now a little better than they normally are. Normally workers mitigate die rolls by 1, as you can see here, but now all my workers can mitigate dice by 2 once I assign that to my estate. So right now it's not doing anything. In order to place something, I have to look at the numbers and the color. So I cannot actually assign this right now because I have to assign adjacent to something I already own. Both players start with this castle, so I have to build out adjacent to the castle. Unfortunately, the color I'm looking for here isn't adjacent to the castle. So I spend my 2 to do that. You notice I have a worker that I started the game with. I can spend that worker to make this other die a 3 or a 1. So let's spend it. Now I can make, let's say that I'm gonna make it a 1. So with that 1, I can buy something from this 1 spot. Maybe I'll buy this building. Buildings give you special abilities. So in this case, this building, once I put it in my estate, it gives me 4 victory points, and that is all denoted right here. So that's a symbol for victory points. Once I actually put it to my estate, I get those 4 victory points. So let's say it's round 2, and I actually rolled this. So with my 4, I could assign that building I have to this 4 spot because it's adjacent to that tower. So I just do that. I spend my 4, marking it right there, and I get whatever this building does, in this case 4 victory points. Boom. So they all have little special abilities. Some give you coins, some give you more of those workers to help mitigate your die rolls. Some let you assign something to your estate right away without having needing a number to assign it, and so on. You also, with your dice, could do a shipping action. So I have this 2. I could spend this 2 to send one of my cargo out. So I could send this 2 value out. No matter how many I have, I'm gonna get 1 coin. It doesn't matter. I could have 5 of these. I only have 1 now, but I'm gonna get a coin. Put it right there. And I'm gonna get, depending on player count, is how many VP I get. I think with 2 players, it is 2 victory points each one. So I'll move up 2. I'm pretty sure that it's 2 in a 2-player game, but it goes up in value the more players you play. So those are the 3 things you can do with your dice. You can obtain one of these tiles. You can assign from your reserve one of these tiles to your estate. You can ship something out. And those are the 3 things you can do with those dice. And I showed you how you mitigate those dice with workers. You could, another thing you can do, you can trade one of these dice in for 2 workers. So if there's something you really didn't want out there, you could just say, I'm gonna get 2 workers with that die. So we're gonna go over some of these tiles out here. We have farm tiles, which have animals. These just give you victory points for the number of animals. In this case, there are 4 sheep on here. So if you were to put this tile out, you're gonna get, and when I say put it out, I mean actually on your estate, not here. Again, this does not matter if it's here. It doesn't score for you yet. Once you assign it, you're gonna get 4 victory points, plus you're gonna add on if there were more than one set of sheep. Let's say I got this tile as well. Once I put this down, I get not just the 4 sheep, try to get the light out there, not just the 4 points for sheep, but you're gonna get the total as well. So you're gonna get 4 plus your 8 right here, because they're all like sheep. So you're gonna get 12 points. So it really incentivizes you to keep animals of likeness in the same pasture area. One of the goals you're trying to achieve is to fill out the colors in one area. So there are four hexes with that pasture color. Once you fill that out, you're gonna get 10 victory points plus whatever stage of the game you're in. So it helps to do that earlier, because now if I had 4, I get 10 victory points plus 10, 20 victory points if I did that in the first round. You can see obviously you're gonna get more points the bigger the field is, the bigger the area is. So this one right here with the buildings would score a lot because there's 6. So I can get 21 points plus whatever stage we're in of the game, whatever phase, they call these phases. Also, when you're completely done with the color, so you see all the buildings here that I mentioned, the 6, if I were to get these as well and these as well, you get, if you're the first one that gets it, you get one of their tiles denoted by the color, and this is how many victory points you'll be awarded at the end of the game for being the first one to completely finish. So in a 2-player game, it's 5 points, 3-player game, 6 points, 4-player game, 7 points. And you can see there are all these rewards out here. So if you're the second person, you're gonna get this one, which will get you a lesser amount of points, but nobody will be able to get it after that. Here we have a market. You notice that we get coins in the game. So you could buy from that market. It costs $2, 2 silverling, and you can purchase anything that is in here. So notice I'm set up for a 2-player game. So these 3s and 4s, there's nothing covering them, but all these are 2-player. So I have this all filled up for a 2-player game. So I can spend $2 during my turn to buy any of those tiles to put in my reserve. All right. And that, I think, is a good gist. Let's talk a little bit about more tiles here real quickly. This ship here will impact turn order. It lets you take tiles that are put out here and put them into your area. And it lets you impact turn order, which is right here. So every ship action you do, green is going to be the first player. If red were to do it next, they would go on top of green and they would become the first player. Mines give you currency after every round. These knowledge tiles give you little bonuses at the end of the game or during the game. They just let you, they can let you break the rules. Like the one you saw here, that changes the rule for you. This one here gives you victory points for each of those buildings at the end of the game. 4 victory points for each of those specific buildings. Castles are probably the most powerful, but they're also more scarce. There's only one entire phase. If you put that out, it's like an extra turn, and it's a wild turn, so it's like a die roll of your choice, essentially. Buildings all give you special actions that are pretty cool. They're all denoted here, and I've already mentioned one of them. Actually, I mentioned like 4 of them, so they just all have special abilities. And I think that's good enough. That is how you play Castles of Burgundy. Hey, we're back with our scores and our reviews of the Castles of Burgundy by Stefan Feld. My score for this one is going to be a 9.3. It is one of my favorite games of all time. It's such a clean game for 2 or 3 players. 4, I'll admit it does drag a little bit. I wouldn't recommend it quite as much at 4, but for 2 or 3, love it. It plays really well. The mechanisms are great. The artwork's not great. I'll give you that as well. So those are 2 negatives about the game. I wouldn't recommend it as much at 4. I don't like the artwork, but the mechanisms I absolutely love. So for me, it's just, I'd recommend it for anybody looking for that next step. Actually, and this is kind of weird, this is the game that got me really into the hobby, and that's unusual because most people are Ticket to Ride, the Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
But this one was the one for me, like, oh, games can do cool things. It's not just roll dice and move. So for me, 9.3, absolutely love this game. Love it, love it, love it. What do you got, Vic?
I have a high score as well, an 8.7 for me. Lots of fun. Really like rolling dice, and I like the cute animals. I think the artwork for the animals is good.
Yeah.
And I also like that you can mitigate your dice rolling with the workers, so you're not at the mercy of what you roll.
Mhm.
You can always change things, and there's a lot of options and a lot of choices, and always have a good time with this game. Let us know in the comment section below what your favorite Stefan Feld game is. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't subscribed already to our channel, please do. We do publish videos twice weekly. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you have a great day.
Mwah.